to Lawrence.
I have several other people to see. We'll be in touch with you.
Just take into consideration that we have the biggest stadium in the Midwest.
Yes, and the smallest library.
But you will be in touch?
No, we'll probably become pen pals. Goodbye.
Bye.
Who's next?
Kaufman, it's good to see you. Good. Virginia was real excited when she knew I was coming here. Real excited.
It's nice. Nice.
I mean, how do you lose touch?
I don't know.
I mean, with people that you were tight with. Tight. I mean, what happened to us, Kaufman? Losing touch like that.
Do I know you?
You're kidding.
I do know you.
We were classmates. I'm Roy Gale, Atlantic University. The Palmer Dormitory.
I did know you. We didn't like each other.
Oh, come on.
No. I distinctly remember you said some rotten things to me. We had a fist fight outside the library.
Well, yeah, but then we shook and we were friends again.
I lost that fight.
Now, listen, Cy. I'm recruiting now for
Cy?
Atlantic, and you and I have got to lock up Ronnie Moore for our team.
Oh, no, Roy, we don't have to do that. I'll tell you something else, Roy. We're not going to do that.
You'll be flying down with Ronnie Moore this weekend.
Roy, you're going to get in line with 107 other universities that are after Ronnie Moore. Roy.
You know Al?
You mean the postman?
He ain't so pleasant no more.
Hey, Mom, I'm full.
This may plain shock you, honey, but I wasn't thinking of you. I want to get some breakfast started for Mr. Dixon. They're starting early today. Hello? Well, this is the halfback's mother. Talk to me.
I get it. Good morning, Ronnie. Mr. Dixon, have you ate breakfast yet?
You know I don't eat breakfast.
They say, well, look, do me a favor. Tell Mom you want some, because she really wants to do something for you.
Okay. I eat breakfast.
I said I'd tell him. Arizona State is in love with you. Don't laugh. You don't know how many of these calls I've been getting.
I can't help it, Mrs. Moore. You are too much.
Now, there isn't anything in the parent-teacher's manual that says I have to listen to a con like that. You want some breakfast, Mr. Dixon?
I'd love some.
I'll get it.
I wish they'd stop calling here. I don't know what to do with them. I just want to be sure the boy gets educated right.
Sick him on Seymour Kaufman. He's talking to the schools that are after Ronnie and having the time of his life.
I don't know what to do with them. I just want to be sure the boy gets...
Morning, Peter.
Oh, good morning, Mr. Kaufman.
Morning, Ronnie.
Oh, hi, Mr. Kaufman. I brought over the letters that I got this morning.
Good grief. I had to volunteer for this. Pete, you just volunteered to help me with these tonight.
Thanks a lot.
So this is Ronnie Moore. Good to meet you, Ronnie. I'm from Atlantic, and we're expecting you out this weekend.
Roy.
Nice to see you, Si. Well, how about it? We'll take care of the plane fare. I can guarantee you 2 great days.
Well, it's sort of up to Mr. Dixon and Mr. Kaufman.
Well, bring them along.
You better get going. You'll be late for your first period.
Oh, Ronnie, Jim Williams has changed his schedule so he can meet you.
Jim Williams?
I'm not exactly excited about going away this weekend myself. But how could I tell Ronnie that I was going to blow his chance to meet Jim Williams?
Telling me you can't see me is no trouble at all, huh?
Yeah, but Jim Williams is...
3-time All-American Atlantic State, 1958, 59, and 60.
No, you knew that.
Oh, I'm full of surprises. Which you'd find out if you weren't canceling our weekend. Pete, this is the 3rd time in a row.
Are you trying to convince me you're mad?
You're right. I am mad.
No, you're not. You understand.
Pete, have I ever lied to you? I am mad.
I know you too well.
Oh!
Hi, you guys. Hey, I don't want to get personal, but did I just hear you scream?
Oh, I was just being understanding.
I see. You're into something. I better go. I don't want to interrupt. Right?
Oh, it's okay, Alice. I just have to go away this weekend, and it threw our plans out of whack.
Hey, listen. I know it's not exactly the same, but how about you and me taking in a movie?
All right. I'll meet you right after 6th period.
Great. Have a good trip, Pete.
Why couldn't you postpone the trip until next weekend?
No way. Jim Williams is going to be there this weekend. And to tell you the truth, I didn't want to blow a chance to meet him either.
Jim Williams, this is Seymour Kaufman.
How do you do, sir?
Pete Dixon.
Hey, brother.
And the young man we're trying to lure to Atlantic, Ronnie Moore.
Hey, Ronnie. I hear you ran over every team in your league. Yeah, well, we had a pretty good line this year.
Well, I hope you boys will forgive me if I move off.
We forgive you.
Jim will take good care of you, huh?
Comes out a little strong, doesn't it?
Had you noticed that?
Yeah. Hey, Ronnie, let me show you around. Now, we've got a great program planned out for you, which I think you're really going to Hey, man, this is something else.
You know Ronnie will be checking some other schools.
Oh, sure. But I'm hoping he'll pick this one. I mean, Atlantic was good for me, and it can be for him.
Just so it's understood.
It's understood.
Okay.
Just wanted to show you what it would look like. Can you dig it? Hey, man, that's great. Wait a minute. A little souvenir. Thanks.
You really should have hit him. Oh, I like hitting those big... Hi, Mr. Williams.
Oh, hey, Ronnie, this is Doug Becker.
Hey, how you doing, Ronnie?
Tom Brentani, two of the top juniors on the teams. Fellas, this is the Ronnie Moore.
Oh, we've been wanting to meet you. You had a season and a half out there on the coast.
Yeah,
you really ate them up, man. We could sure use you. You know it.
Hey, thanks.
Excuse me.
Hey, it's Jim Williams.
This locker hasn't been open since 1960. Retired.
Actually, I just forgot the combination. Anything special you gentlemen would like to see?
Yes. When I went to school here, we actually had classrooms. Now, if they still do, we'd like to see a counselor, please. At least this place hasn't changed since 1904 when
Mr. Williams.
Oh, wow. How long have I been keeping you waiting?
Almost an hour.
Gee, I'm sorry, Carolyn.
That's all right.
Oh, Carolyn Fletcher, this is Mr. Dixon.
Hello.
Mr. Kaufman.
You.
And Ronnie Moore.
Hi, Ronnie.
Hi.
Ronnie, Carolyn's our freshman queen. She's been selected to show you around the campus.
Oh, yes.
I didn't think you'd mind. Here, take my keys, honey.
It's okay, Mr. Dixon, isn't it? You can fill me in on what the counselor says later.
It's up to you.
See you later.
Come on, what would you like to see?
Oh, anything. I don't care.
I bet he likes that better than the T-shirt.
Listen, I know it's important, but I've got some people with me here now. Tell him I'll be there in, say, 10 minutes. But I'm sorry. Of course, that's only a rough schedule. There would be some changes depending on what the boy wants.
Well, suppose the boy wants to graduate.
I'm sorry, I don't follow you.
Well, you have him loaded up with electives and very few required subjects.
Well, our players spend 45 hours a week on football. Now, if you dump too heavy an academic load on them at the same time, it's too much pressure.
Are you serious? I have more pressure than this deciding when to eat dinner.
Well, we have a lot of experience with young athletes, and,
How do they graduate if they don't have the required courses?
well, eventually he will have the required courses.
And exactly when will that eventually take place?
I'm sorry, I have an appointment off campus. Well, Mr. Williams, you can set their minds at rest. Now, please, excuse me.
All right, Mr. Williams. Go ahead, set my mind at rest. It's been needing it for years.
This man is something else, isn't he?
What about this? The schedule.
Well, all I can say is it'll work fine for me. So they must know what they're doing.
Not with a schedule like this, they don't.
Okay. We'll work out another schedule. I mean, like the man said, it's not the last word. Besides, it's Ronnie's decision, right?
While we're on the subject of decisions, I've made mine. And that is, if Ronnie accepts a scholarship from this place, it will be a disaster. What's your decision?
We had 6 black players on the team last year that were all seniors. Only one graduated. Another's back to pick up the required courses that he missed. But he's off scholarship. If you can't play, you pay.
What's with Jim Williams? He's been coming on pretty strong to Ronnie.
Yeah, it was kind of Jim's idea for us to do that little welcome number on Ronnie. He's a hard cat to say no to.
Well, if Ronnie's going to get a raw deal, what's Jim's point?
Farmer, Brentani, Becker, come on. You got 30 seconds. You start doing laps.
Coming. See you.
Thanks.
Mr. Dixon. Farmer.
Yeah, what is it?
See you. Okay, everybody in, let's go.
Good morning. Will you look at this place? Maybe someday you can explain to me why he has his own room and you and I have to bunk together.
You better get going, Ronnie. We got a plane to catch.
We've got to wait on Jim anyway.
Why, what's he gonna do, wave goodbye?
No, he's gonna fly back with us.
What for?
I just got a twinge in my bones. Either it's gonna rain or he's decided to sign with my alma mater.
Yeah, Dig's new halfback for Atlanta University.
I was pulling for rain.
And Jim's gonna fly back with us to get Mom's okay.
Ronnie, I was going to wait until we got back. But you and I have something to talk about right now.
Sure, go ahead.
What do you want out of college?
It's gonna sound like a big ego thing.
What?
Everything, I guess.
What do you mean by everything?
Oh, a chance to play football and to get a degree in electronics.
Hey, Ronnie. Good morning, gentlemen. I guess Ronnie's told you about his big decision.
Yes, we were just standing around here celebrating.
We decided that Atlantic is not the right place for Ronnie.
Well, why shouldn't he go there?
Yeah, Mr. Dixon, why not?
I'll give you a list later on. But the bottom line is that a lot of players don't graduate. And Atlantic doesn't seem to care one way or the other.
That's a little one-sided, isn't it? I mean, a kid gets out of school only what he puts into it.
I don't want you to think that... I appreciate what you've done for me.
Good.
But I've been over just about everything with Jim.
Maybe Jim didn't tell you the whole story. If you want a degree in electronics...
Now, hold it, buddy. Now, what's this about Jim and the whole story?
If you don't mind, I'm talking to Ronnie.
Well, speak your piece. Now, look, I went to Atlantic. I know all the guys were treated well there, and I'll make sure that Ronnie is, too.
See? Jim's gonna look out for me. So everything's cool, huh?
No, Ronnie, it isn't. I think you'll be making a big mistake.
And what do I have to do to convince you?
Try giving him a T-shirt.
Look, we only got about 20 minutes to make it to the airport.
You guys go ahead. There's a plane every 3 hours. I'll catch the next one.
Something wrong?
I just got one more stop to make.
You see, I didn't want to badmouth Jim because he's just doing his job, but Ronnie seems like a good kid.
What do you mean doing his job?
Well, he's a used car salesman in town at McCabe's here. McCabe's one of those big gung-ho alumnus.
Go ahead.
So whenever there's a hot prospect around, and black prospect, he turns Jim loose. That's where the bread, the big car, and the custom threads come from.
Hustling high school kids, huh?
Well, that's the way it goes, man. I mean, after he hurt his leg and couldn't go professional, there wasn't much left he could do.
You never graduated?
No. But did you ever see Jim Williams run with a football?
Yes.
In high school, our coach used to run films of his old games. Beautiful, man. He was beautiful.
How'd he get hurt?
Tore a ligament in the last practice before the Cotton Bowl game. He was the whole team, man. So what do? They shoot him full of Novocaine so he can't feel any pain, right? Third play from scrimmage, Jim's going around in. Boom, the leg gives. Out comes the stretcher, and that was all she wrote.
Finished.
Never played again. Say, do me a favor, will you?
Yeah.
When you tell Ronnie about the hustle Jim's pulling on him, tell him the other two, huh? About how beautiful he was when he was running.
Okay. Thanks.
Flight 14, now disembarking, gate 5.
I don't care if Ronnie gets embarrassed or not. He's gonna get hugged.
Oh, there they are.
Everybody but Pete. Flight 415, now boarding, gate 9.
Glad to see you. Look at you.
Hello.
Hi, Mr. Coughlin.
Miss
Hi,
Johnson.
Mr. Coughlin.
Hello.
Welcome home.
Thank you. This is very nice.
How was your weekend?
I suppose you mean, where's Pete? I don't know. He had something to do, but he'll be on the next flight.
Oh, thank you so much. Miss McIntyre, you don't have to take us home. Mr. Williams just went to rent a car.
Okay.
Hey, Mom's gonna give a little party for signing the letter.
I'd like you to come, Mr. Kaufman.
Thank you.
And you too, Miss McIntyre.
I'll be there.
And you too, Miss
Johnson.
Johnson.
Thank you very much.
Mr. Dixon will be there, won't he?
He'll be there.
Hey, you all right?
How's the party going?
Oh, they're going crazy. Waiting for Mr. All-American. Pete, I think after what you told me, you don't have much choice. You gotta keep Ronnie out of that school.
I know. It's the way I may have to do it.
Well, you're on.
Well, we may have our disagreements, but I'll never quarrel over your taste in women.
I want to talk to you.
Look, I'm late already.
This won't take that long.
Man, you sure are hard-headed. Now what is it?
I want you to lay off Ronnie Moore.
I'm getting this kid a scholarship to one of the biggest schools in the country, and you act like I'm stealing his watch.
Atlantic's a lousy school, and you know it.
And a school is a school. You know they only want us because we play football. We get what we can out of it.
Well, I want Ronnie to come out of it with more than a scrapbook full of headlines.
He'll learn to play football. If he's got any talent, then he'll make the pros.
What if he doesn't make the pros?
What if? What if?
What if he hurts his leg?
Well, man, if he hurts his leg, it's just too bad. I mean, life don't give you no guarantees.
No, but an education helps.
Helps what? Become a lousy school teacher and make a big 7th hour a year?
I'm doing what I want to do. And they're not going to do to Ronnie what they did to you. I know all about you, Jim.
All right, so I sell used cars, so what? My old man mopped floors. He would have thought selling cars was beautiful. The kids I grew up with are still shining shoes. Or if they're lucky, they found themselves a hustle.
Like you? Only you hustle kids.
Better back off of it, man.
Jim! Come on in, everybody's waiting.
Yeah, I'll be right there, Ronnie. Feel better now? You've had your little say.
Hey, come on! Come on. Hey, Jim. Hey, welcome to the team.
Come on. It's good to meet you guys.
Jim, man. Hey, what's happening?
Isn't it wonderful?
Wonderful.
I think it's so important for young people to have athletic heroes setting behavioral standards.
Come on, brother. Cooler. Come on, cooler.
Yeah, we've got an occasion here. Now, let's get Ronnie's signature and Mama's approval, and then I'll answer all your questions. All right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I never could work the camera. It always comes out. We'll get the picture.
Hope I don't break it.
Okay. Get ready to smile, everybody. Come on.
Hey, man, I'm not going to let you do it.
I told you to back off.
Mrs. Moore, I have something to tell you. I waited until now because...
Mr. Dixon, don't spoil it. Everything's gonna be okay.
Mr. Dixon here has got some crazy notion that Ronnie's going to be shortchanged at Atlantic.
It's something that's funny here. And I want to know what it is. Mr. Williams, you went to Atlantic.
Yes, ma'am.
You played football there.
Yes, ma'am, I sure did.
I'll bet you were a lot like my Ronnie in those days,
Yes, ma'am, I guess I was.
with a head full of all kinds of dreams.
Yeah, sure.
If you had a son like Ronnie, would you send him to get educated at Atlantic State?
Well, ma'am, I'm not even married. And even if I was, it'd be just my luck to have a daughter.
The lady asked you a straight question.
Mr. Dixon here feels that there are a few things that you should know before you sign this paper. One, I never graduated from Atlantic. Two, I get paid by Atlantic State to sign young students onto the team. Is there anything else you want to know?
And what's Ronnie's chances of graduating?
Man, Ronnie is a football player. Atlantic State will give you the only chance cats like us ever get. And that's to play pro ball. Now, you know where that's at, man. Now, what do you say? Huh?
Go for yourself, Ronnie.
Jim, I want to graduate. I'm sorry, but I have to say no. I want my degree. I'm not just a football player.
Okay. Well, you win a few and you lose a few. My last undefeated season was in high school. Thanks very much for the party, Mrs. Moore.
Good night, Mr. Williams.
Good night.
Big Jim Williams.
I don't believe it.
Believe it.
All those schools after him, and he chose Butler Tech.
You should think more of your school. It's a good one.
Oh, I know it is. But I mean, athletes like Ronnie, well, they usually, we hardly ever win.
What are you talking about? 5 wins and 5 losses for Butler Tech. That's like an undefeated season.
Well, I don't know how to thank you. Why don't you come along with me now, and I'll fill you in on the rest of the schedule. Pete, thanks for everything.
My pleasure.
Guys, Hoffman, thank you.
My mother wrote both of you a letter. Well, when you read it, I feel like she does.
Thank you, Ronnie.
Yeah.